Welcome to day 6 of my 12 Days of Christmas challenge. Today I'm going to pick the best right back of the last 30 years. There have been a few very good right backs, and in the end I picked a short list of 4 who, depending on personal opinions, could have all been in with a chance of selection. Dani Alves moved to Sevilla in 2002 after a season with Bahia in his native Brazil. His form with the Andalusians saw him emerge as one of the best right backs in the world, and in 2008 Barcelona made their move and brought him to Catalonia. He developed a superb relationship with Lionel Messi on the right side of the Barcelona team, and together they helped Barcelona to success after success, particularly in the Guardiola years. Alves left Barca in 2016 and spent a year with Juventus, then 2 with Paris Saint-Germain, before returning to Brazil in 2019 with Sao Paulo, where he is still playing at 37 years old. Alves won multiple honours across his career, with the highlights being 6 La Ligas and 3 Champions Leagues with Barca, as well as league titles with Juve and PSG, and 2 Copa Americas with the Brazilian national team. If I were to have one criticism of Alves, I was often disappointed by his final ball and feel if he was a little bit better in that area, he would have been in my team. Another Brazilian international who made the shortlist was Cafu. Cafu had an excellent career under his belt even before he arrived in Europe, winning 2 Copa Libertadores with Sao Paulo, and arguably even more impressive were the 2 Intercontinental Cup wins over Barcelona and AC Milan in 1992 and 93 that went along with those titles. He had a brief spell in Europe in 1995 with Real Zaragoza before returning to Brazil. He moved back to Europe in 1997 and spent the rest of his career in Italy with Roma and then AC Milan. He won the Scudetto with both sides and also added the Champions League with Milan. Internationally, he played in 3 World Cup finals with Brazil, winning it in 1994 and 2002. He also won 2 Copa Americas with his Selección. My final right back who just missed out is Lilian Thuram. Thuram was quite different in style to Cafu and Alves. He was a much better defender than the Brazilian duo, but going forward, while still more than useful, he wasn't quite at the level of Cafu and Alves. Thuram, who was born in Guadeloupe before moving to France as a child, began his career with Monaco, before moving to Serie A with Parma. After 5 years there, he moved to Juventus, but left for Barcelona in 2006 after Juventus were relegated to Serie B following the Calciopoli scandal. He remained at Barcelona until his retirement in 2008, shortly after he discovered he had a heart defect that had claimed the life of his brother. Thuram made 142 appearances for France, which is the most of any French international. He was a key member of the teams that won the 1998 World Cup and 2000 European Championships, with his greatest moment with Les Bleus coming in the 1998 World Cup semi-final. With France 1-0 down to Croatia, Thuram scored the only 2 international goals of his career to turn the tie around and send France to the final. All 3 of those will be worth consideration for a place in my team, but in the end I have decided to select Bayern Munich and German legend Philipp Lahm. For me, Lahm was one of the best players of his generation, and he could play a number of positions. He was equally comfortable as a right back or a left back, and then when Pep Guardiola came to Bayern, he was a superb defensive midfielder too. However, for the purposes of my team, I'm playing him at right back. Lahm signed for Bayern when he was just 11 years old and worked his way up through the various tiers of the youth team before breaking into the second team in 2001. He made his first appearance for the first team in 2002, but Bayern were well stocked at fullback, so he ended up being loaned out to Stuttgart for 2 years, where he really found his feet and played well enough to earn a spot in the national team. When he returned to Bayern, he was recovering from a cruciate injury, so it took a few months of rehabilitation before he was ready to play, but when he finally got his chance he took it and became a regular part of the first team, making over 500 appearances for the club in all competitions up until his retirement in 2017. In January 2011, he became club captain and proved to be an excellent leader for the Bavarians. Over his years with Bayern, Lahm won 8 Bundesligas, a Champions League, 6 German Cups, a German League Cup, 3 German Super Cups, a UEFA Super Cup and a FIFA Club World Cup. The highlight of those honours came in 2013 when Bayern won every single competition they participated in. Lahm made 113 appearances for Germany over a 10-year international career. His debut came in 2004 and he retired from international duty in 2014 at just 30 years old. When Lahm debuted, Germany were going through a bit of a rebuild, but after the initial disappointment of going out at the group stage in 2004, they reached at least the semi-finals of every other competition he played in. Lahm assumed the captaincy of the national team in 2010 and would wear the armband right up until his final game when he lifted the World Cup trophy after the 2014 final at the Maracanã, Brazil. Lahm was an extremely talented footballer. He was genuinely world class regardless of whether he was asked to play on the left or the right. When Guardiola arrived at Bayern, he needed someone to operate almost as a playmaker in the defensive midfield position, and he identified Lahm as the man due to his on-field intelligence, which is a perfect reflection of Lahm and how he operated during what was an exceptional career.